Everybody, welcome back to Grace Violin Tutorials. In the previous video, I showed you the book String Builder by Samuel Applebaum. Now today, I'm going to start you off with it, but first we're going to look at the different parts of the violin and the bow. So if you have the String Builder book, and I did provide a link to it in the video description, we're going to open up to page 2, which shows you a picture of the violin and the bow, all right, and it's different parts, it's all labeled and everything. If you don't have it though, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through it and show you how to tune, how to hold the violin and the bow, as well as the different parts. So if you're ready to go, let's get started. We're going to start with the parts of the violin here. So I'll just start at the top and work my way down. So right here, the very top of the violin, you see we have this curlicue thing. It's called the scroll. Provides some nice weight to the end of the violin. All right. Now we have these 4 pegs. They're used to tune the 4 strings on the violin and get just the right pitch. All right. And then we have our peg box right here where the pegs attach to the strings so we can turn them to tune. All right, and then we have the neck of the violin. That's pretty straightforward and obvious. And then this black part here is called the fingerboard because that's where we put our fingers to play the violin. Now down here we have the main body of the violin and the F-holes, which let the sound out and make it all reverberate very well. And then this wooden piece, as you can see, it's called the bridge. Holds the strings up and keeps them nice and taut so that you can get that nice pitch. All right, and then we have the fine tuners. Now my violin only has 1, but oftentimes you will see violins that have 4, which is very good for beginners. All right, they help tune the violin in such a way that you can move the pitch just the tiniest bit. So the pegs, if your string is way off pitch, those are really good to use. The fine tuners are if you're only just a little bit off pitch so you can get right on, all right? This tail piece here, as you can see, holds the fine tuners as well as the ends of the strings. And then we have our chin rest where your jaw will go when you're holding the violin. So now I'm going to show you how to hold the violin. So you're going to take your violin as is, and slide it under your chin on your left shoulder like this. You're going to rest your left jaw on your chin rest, all right? So now when you're holding your violin, you want to make sure that it's parallel to the floor. So you don't want it up too far like this. You also don't want it down so that your elbow's hitting your side. Okay, so just nice and gently like this. All right, and also when you're holding your violin, you want to make sure that your wrist is straight. Don't let it be a broken wrist, so don't lean it against the violin. You want to get it nice and straight, all right? You also don't want to go to the extreme and hold it like this. And when you're beginning, you can just kind of rest the neck on your hand like this, or if you're more comfortable, just hold the body of the violin like this until we start learning fingering, okay? Well, it's okay to play the violin just regularly like this. I would highly recommend that you get either a shoulder rest or a shoulder pad. So as you can see, I use a shoulder pad. I've provided a link in the video description if you're interested in using the one that I use, okay? And I put it on the right side, the body of my violin, all right? I rest it like this, so the pointy part is pointing in. And then I use just a regular rubber band and put it on the violin, just so. All right, I pull it over and I attach it to the little knob right here, okay? And that's all there is to it. And then you just hold your violin the way you normally would. And a shoulder pad or a shoulder rest, they provide comfort, they provide stability without dampening the sound that your violin will make. So again, I would highly recommend ordering one of those. But obviously, you really can't do a lot with the violin without a bow. So I'm going to show you the different parts of the bow and how to hold that as well. So, as you can see, you've got this lovely bow right here. Again, I'm going to start at the top, work my way down, show you the different parts and how to hold it. Okay, so right here we have the tip of the bow, pretty straightforward, and then the bow stick, which is this long wooden part right here. Now, this area here is called the frog, and then we've got our little screw, which loosens and tightens the bow. So when you tighten your bow, you want to make sure that you're moving the screw to the right, all right? And you don't want it to get so tight that the stick gets really straight like this. You want to have it loose enough that there's a very slight bend in the stick, but it still has a good amount of bounce to it, okay? And then whenever you put your violin away, you want to move the screw to the left like this and make sure that the hair of the bow is nice and loose, just so, before you put it away every time, okay? I'm going to show you how to actually hold the bow. So we're going to take our thumb and place it on the bow right like this. Then place our middle finger gently right across from our thumb, making sure that the joint is kind of wrapped around the bow stick. All right, then take our index finger and do the exact same thing, fairly close to the middle finger. Same thing with the third, and then just take our pinky and rest it right on top like this. And there you go. In this video, we talked about the bow and all its parts, and then the violin and its various parts. In the next video, I'm going to show you what the different strings are and how to make them sound good by tuning. So I will see you then.